Fox News. Breaking news.
I'm Gary Franchi, standing in the White House briefing room, and what I witnessed today may be the single most extraordinary day of the Trump presidency. What you're about to hear is the story of an American president who rescued pilots from behind enemy lines, humiliated a terrorist regime, silenced the fake news, and put our freeloading allies on notice, and gave Iran a deadline that could change the course of history. All of it in one day, one press conference, one commander-in-chief, and the world will never be the same. So let me set the stage for you, because I don't think people fully understand the magnitude of what happened today inside this building. President Trump walked up to that podium in a packed briefing room with the Secretary of War, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and a CIA director standing behind him. It doesn't happen for routine announcement. That happens when a president has something to say that the entire world needs to hear. And what he said, what he revealed, and what he showed was a level of American dominance that we haven't seen since the fall of the Berlin Wall. Now, this wasn't politics, this wasn't spin, this was raw, unfiltered, undeniable American power. And every nation on earth, friend and foe alike, they just got the message. So let me walk you through everything, because when you see it all together, when you understand the full scope of what this president just did, you'll understand why I'm telling you that this is a day that will be studied in the history books. It started with the rescue. 2 American pilots, an F-15 Strike Eagle, shot down deep inside hostile Iranian territory. 1 pilot injured, bleeding, climbing mountain cliffs in the dark with thousands of Iranian forces hunting him down. The other isolated, alone, hiding in a cave in a mountain crevice, praying that somebody would come. And someone did. President Trump authorized the rescue within 2 hours, in the middle of the night, because, as the Secretary of War said today, anybody who's worked for this man knows he's up in the middle of the night. The president did not hesitate. He did not convene a focus group. He did not poll test the decision. He gave the order. What followed was the most audacious military rescue operation in modern American history. 155 aircraft launched into hostile airspace, A-10 Warthogs, AC-130s, Jolly Green helicopters, all penetrating enemy territory in broad daylight. The CIA ran a deception campaign across 7 fake locations, leaving Iranian forces spinning in circles, confused, chasing ghosts, while our operators moved in on the real targets. The coordination call stayed open 45 hours and 56 minutes, unblinking, the Secretary of War's word, not ours, unblinking. And here's the part that gave me chills standing right here in the briefing room today. One of our pilots was shot down on Good Friday. He hid in a cave all Saturday, scaling rugged ridges, being hunted, and he was rescued as the sun rose on Easter Sunday. His first message after activating his beacon, 3 words: God is good. The Secretary of War called him a pilot reborn. And when those helicopters flew back to base, they were riddled with bullet holes. Our crews had flown through 7 hours of enemy fire at low altitude, so low Iranian forces were shooting at them with rifles, and not a single American was injured, not one. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs stood at that podium today and said the words that every American in uniform needed to hear: you will not be left behind. We will always come find you. That is the promise of the United States military under President Trump, and today that promise was kept. But the president was not finished, not even close. He turned his attention to the fake news. A New York Times reporter tried to push back on his language, tried to question his tone towards Iran. And what happened next silenced the room I'm in right now. He said, "Quiet." The entire briefing room was silent. And then Trump delivered the kill shot. He reminded that reporter that every journalist in the building, that the New York Times said he would never win. He won in a landslide. Every swing state, he called them fake to their faces. He said the old gray lady is running on past fumes. And when another reporter tried to question his mental fitness, tried to use his words against him, Trump's response, 3 words that broke the internet: I don't care. I don't care about critics. That's it. That's the whole answer. And then he added, you're going to have more people like me. And he's right. Our country was being ripped off until he came along, and everybody in the room here knew it. Then came the deadline, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern time. That's when President Trump gave Iran a hard deadline. No ambiguity, no diplomatic hedging, no off-ramps designed by State Department bureaucrats to let the mullahs save face. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And then he dropped the hammer on Obama's legacy. He said it plain. Obama chose Iran over Israel, pure and simple. The Iran nuclear deal wasn't a path to peace. It was a path to a nuclear weapon. And Trump terminated it in his first term. Now he's finishing the job in his second. And to make sure Iran understood exactly what finishing the job means, he laid out the military reality. Every bridge in Iran decimated, every power plant destroyed. He said it would take 4 hours, just 4 hours, to bring Iran's infrastructure to its knees. When Iran tested him, when they tried to break the deal, Trump gave the order. He said within 10 minutes, the biggest bridge in Iran was gone. That's not a threat. That's a receipt. But the president saved his most important message for last. And this is the part that changes the global order. He went down the list: NATO, South Korea, Japan, Australia. One by one, he called out every nation that has been riding on America's back for decades. Your tax dollars paying for 50,000 soldiers in Japan, 45,000 in South Korea, tens of thousands more scattered across the globe, protecting nations that will not lift a finger when America needs help. And then he talked about Kim Jong-un, about how the North Korean dictator called Joe Biden, and I'll use the exact words, a mentally retarded person. But Trump, he likes Trump. And the things are quiet on the Korean Peninsula. That's called respect, and that's what strength buys you. And then Trump made it clear. The free ride is over. A deal that's acceptable to me. Free traffic of oil and everything else. He said it like a man who knows he holds every card at the table, because he does. America has the military. America has the energy. America has the leverage. And for the first time in decades, we have a president who's willing to use it. Now, step back with me. Step all the way back and look at what happened today right here in this room. In the span of one press conference, President Trump revealed the most daring military rescue since the founding of special operations. He announced that American forces flew 14 hours over Iranian airspace in daylight and at night, and Iran couldn't do a single thing to stop us. He told the New York Times to be quiet to their faces in the White House. He gave Iran a 24-hour deadline to comply or face complete destruction. He called out Obama for choosing Iran over Israel. He exposed every freeloading ally who's been spending American tax dollars like a blank check. And he reminded the world what Donald Trump means when he draws a red line. Bridges fall, power plants burn, and American warriors come home. This was not a press conference. This was a declaration that the era of American weakness is dead, that the apology tours are over, that the palace of cash are finished, that the freeloading is done. And that any nation, any regime, any dictator who threatens American lives will face the full fury of the most powerful military force in the history of human civilization. Now, I stood in this briefing room many times. I've watched presidents speak. I have watched administrations come and go, but I have never witnessed a single day like this one. The rescue of American pilots from behind enemy lines, the humiliation of a terrorist regime, the silencing of the fake news, the ultimatum to Iran, the reckoning of our allies, all of it. One man, one podium, one message. America's back, and we're not asking for permission. If you watched only one video from the White House this year, this should be it. So share it with every patriot you know. Share it with your family. Share it with the people who still don't understand what this president is doing for this country. Because today was the day that the world learned once and for all that you do not test the United States of America under President Donald J. Trump. I'm Gary Franchi, reporting from the White House. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and God bless the United States of America.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.